Muy buenas noches, everyone. I hope everybody's doing well, blessed, and enjoying family. And as always, muchísimas gracias to everyone for your guys' words, prayers, and your amazing support. De corazón se los agradezco. We just got finished doing a live, and today was a little bit different, and I appreciate every one of you. You took me out of my dark cloud, and gracias. Now, for this story, I'm just gonna put out a story, right? It has to do with a good camarada that I had the pleasure of meeting at one point here in Mexico, and moral on how politics plays out in Mexico, and how when it comes to us, Billy's, basically it's a whole different program, structure, rules and regulations that you have to play by. As we conversed a little bit about certain things that you guys know about Billy's Wiggling in Mexico. But anyways, today I want to talk about the homie Mago. He was from SGV, and it was actually one of the first things I supported with in Mexico, right, when I got here. And basically I went against my family, right, for the fact that in a sense it was kind of like a suicide mission. This is before we got busted out there in Jalisco. This is one of the first things that I supported the homie Pinky, Sticks from Whittier, uh, Bago from San Pedro, MP from Carson City. And it was five of us that went out there to meet with the homie. And we went out there like what they call us here, right? Which is pochos, right? Just got on a whip and took off out that way. And we got to the homie Mago's ranch, right? He was an older homie, and he was doing his thing, and he was a camarada, but you know, after getting out the shoe, in Califas, he was down here for a while, so he blended in pretty good, He had a lot of trust when it came to doing things. He was a gallero, right? Which is he had his ranch and other things behind roosters. That's where he made his feria, really, cause other than that bodega trip, it pays to live day by day, but you're a pawn unless you're piloteando something, you're meant to be stuck, right? Anyways, we got to him, and I didn't really know the camaradas as well as I eventually would, right? But then they were camaradas. We were screaming by Billy's down here, so regardless, let's do it, right? So our thing was to hunt down someone in the Tequila Tala area, right, in Jalisco, that had in and out feria. And basically, he was building up a little foundation, a little crew, right? He was a paisano, but he was what they call here pissing out the bucket or meando fuera la cazuela, right? Basically, trying to go rug and do his thing, against the ones that had this little town set, right? So again, we got to the homie Mago's house. He had what we needed, right? Cause again, our duty was or our responsibility was, you know, map out, hit, and vámonos before before them guys came in, right? And this time it didn't really work as so. For example, we were there for a little while. Yes, we seen a lot of in and outs from this guy's house, but the Talibanes from the ones who were supporting had already hit the pad and nada. Everything was cool, right? But nevertheless, there was something there. And okay, within time, we started peeking out that there was a small pad behind homeboy's house. So the homie Sticks, he paid attention more to it. We're spread out. We couldn't call attention. We used to come out, buy a little paleta, whatever, and then just play dumb. Again, it's tequila, right? There's a lot of things to see. So time came, and we eventually broke in there, and it was to the dot. The homie had figured it out, and there was a passage from the main pad to this pad where they were keeping whatever they were moving, right? And so I'm not gonna get into details, but just to be clear, Mexico is when you go in, there is no como que hules quequis here, right? Es a dar y el que corra que quede, which is hit whoever runs, make sure they stay where they run at, right? So we did our thing, but you know, el halconcillo or the pointer down in Tala didn't inform us that the Marines were in town. So they eventually hit Tequila fast. So our only option was agarrar brecha, right, to the mountains and just stay put, you know. And it was actually the first time that I had to experience that. And I could come on here and be like, oh, it was nothing. Oh, hell yeah, it was something. Out there and a Cali boy, always busted. Thrown out in the woods, sin comida, without food, water. You know, the homie Pinky and Sticks, they had experience, right? They've been in that type of movement a lot longer than I have. And anyways, we were out there and cause there's a little part outside Tequila where it's literally all cerro, right? But we had to wait till the los cafeses ended up splitting because we couldn't come down to town. And this is the time where the president was changing La Guardia Nacional, to start patrolling the streets. So again, the homie, he was older, right? But you could tell even though he did his gallo thing and he's been down there for years, right? That he didn't really belong. It's just something that tells you, right? When you see somebody. And they were in a palenque with gallos and somehow, some way things got out of hand and the older homie ended up taking out a comandante from the Guardia Nacional. And that's something you don't do in Mexico, right? You don't take things, especially with government like that, because that brings heat to the plaza. And if you bring heat to a plaza when they're paying off these people, right? Then that's your butt. There's no buts or ifs. And that's exactly what happened, right? The homie ended up, he took off, man. You know, the minute he did it, he took off. He never lost touch with the senores and the Pilis, right? He just we were up there for a couple weeks, right? Eventually, we were able to wiggle out of the state and rotate, right? And we eventually he touched down where we were at, right? It was a small little rancho out in Culiacan, El Tamarindo, right? And basically the heads to cool down the water, they wanted the homie Mago to turn himself in. This is the Pilis telling him turn yourself into the Huda, right? In a year, the ones that send are gonna take you out. Which even myself, being a new booty out down here, knew that was BS, right? Cause it was well spoken that when it came to Marine and these individuals, you're not gonna go to prison. You're gonna get something real good dealt to you, and then they're gonna find you out in a brecha, right? Gonna take you out. And again, the homie for years he was supporting, right? Opening up certain prices moral than anything, cause he was way down there in Tala, right? But anyways, he was opening them doors, right? When it came to us as a whole, trust, prices, and well, you guys get it, right? And the homie took off for at least for a while, right? But the one Billy he respected a lot was D from Monta, right? And he eventually he landed down in TJ. He met up with the Billy from Chiques, met up with D, and don't know what was said about amongst them, right? But they convinced the homie to come back and turn himself in. And once the homie got back, he couldn't do it, man. It was just something real hard to get around his head, which was, you know, turn myself into the Judas to kill me. Is something that, it has to go through your head. I've been loyal in the Cali, I've been loyal down here. How am I being offered, right? Regardless, it got real hot in that area, right? When it came to military and not military, Marine and Guardia Nacional. And eventually, there was you do or when it came to us, not us, but the Pilis, right? That at the end of the day, they were the ones conversing, right? So there was a camarada, I know he did it, but there's no need for names, right? He was from the A area. And basically, the homie got okey doke, and the Pilis and this individual. Well, I don't want to get graphic out of respect, but they eventually gave the National Guards and them dudes the homie's head. It's that simple. So we circle back around to there ain't nothing you do that's gonna hold value. At the end of the day, them movidas, them avenidas, precios, jale, is what matters to them. Cause a certain Pili ended up keeping his ranch, right? Cause as you guys know, there's a thing in Mexico called posesión legal. So it's just one of the many things, right, that I failed to see at the moment, right? But I was always that individual that I love the causa, right? And I was that dirty individual that thought, you know, el movimiento sobre todo, which, I was done for it. That's why come on here and just pay attention. There's certain things that happen that are a lot bigger than pulling a mission. Again, nothing you do will hold weight. It's like, we talked tonight about tacas, and if one of you will meet me in person, there's not one taca that's as a campolero I did not earn. Every single one that you can think of. But look at me, alone, going through what I'm going, not knowing if tomorrow, so they did what they did. I got used and abused. So in reality, did it mean something? But anyways, I just wanted to share this story. I didn't want to hold you guys very long. I held you guys for 2 hours, but again, gracias for taking me out on my dark cloud. You guys are a blessing. With this said, please stay true to yourself and loyal to your loved ones. God bless. Buenas noches.